For everyone waiting.
What noise? Caitlin Clark stays dialed in. Slam 256 cover story. Being the WNBA. I was always somebody that was driven by goals, and that has always remained the same throughout my life, the Des Moines native told ESPN in March of 2024. Just 2 months after that interview, a record-breaking 2.4 million broadcast viewers tuned in to watch as Clark was selected number 1 overall in the WNBA draft by the Indiana Fever. Dressed in head-to-toe Prada, Clark sat at a table alongside her 2 brothers, Blake and Colin, and their parents, Brent and Ann, inside the Brooklyn Academy of Music. Right before Clark heard her name called on stage by Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, the 6-0 guard looked down. The moment she'd envisioned for herself as a kid had arrived, except now the whole world was in on it. Clark, the reigning WNBA Rookie of the Year, didn't just make it to the league. She's lifted the game to completely new heights. In her first season, the now 23-year-old became the first rookie in league history to record a triple-double. She also set a new record for assists in a game, set a rookie record for threes made and received the most All-Star votes in WNBA history. In 2024, Fever games in Washington, Atlanta and Vegas were moved to NBA and NHL venues to accommodate the unprecedented demand to see Clark in action. Ahead of this season, 6 teams have already announced venue upgrades, including the Dallas Wings, Chicago Sky and Connecticut Sun. That will allow for audience sizes 2 to 3 times larger than normal.
That is
I think what people love the most is the emotion I play with. I think it's easy to connect with. I think they can feel that I'm real on the court, Clark said, when asked to describe the effect she's had on the game at an event celebrating her selection as Time's 2024 Athlete of the Year. An award that only one other basketball player, LeBron James, has ever received. Anyone who has watched Clark on the court can attest to the thrill of seeing her effortlessly launch her signature long-range logo threes. From distances where players typically heavily desperate attempts to beat the buzzer, Clark regularly pulls up to shoot with intention and ease. In the milliseconds after her wrist flicks, Clark becomes one with the crowd, watching as the ball spins through the air toward its inevitable destination and erupting alongside them if the moment so calls. Perhaps one of the reasons the connection Clark has with her fans is so strong is because she remembers so clearly being in their shoes. When I step off the court, I try to be very authentic and genuine and make as much time for people as I can. I never want to big-time anybody because I was just that young girl screaming for an autograph, Clark said. As the all-time NCAA scoring leader knows firsthand, and any fan can attest to, the smallest interactions have the ability to create long-lasting ripple effects. During Clark's senior season at Iowa, Moore surprised the rising star on College game day. When the 4-time WNBA champion and 2-time Olympic gold medalist emerged into view, Clark's calm and confident demeanor immediately dropped as she let out a squeal and covered her mouth with both her hands. "I feel like I'm fangirling so hard," she said with a smile after embracing her idol. "I still feel like when I was this tall and freaking out and I ran across the court and gave you a hug." When asked how it felt that the best player in the women's game was inspired by her, Moore said it was a full-circle moment because she too remembers being a 10-year-old girl running up to Cynthia Cooper, one of the legends of the game. According to Clark, her biggest skill is the ability to block out the noise, an imperative one for any athlete to perform at the highest level, let alone one who gets as much attention as she does. However, as much as she'd like it to, the conversation around Clark and her place in the game hasn't always remained focused on basketball. As a white cis-heteronormative woman in a league of predominantly black women, Clark has found her name in the center of hot-button debates, such as the off-court privileges her identity affords her, and at times weaponized in racist and anti-LGBTQ narratives. When Clark was initially asked last season if she was bothered by this, she mentioned her focus was solely on basketball before expanding further. "I think it's disappointing. It's not acceptable. Everyone should be treated with the same amount of respect." Clark acknowledged the role race plays and her privilege in last year's Time magazine cover feature. On stage at the Time event, Clark said that the only opinions she really cares about are of the people she loves. Her teammates, coaches, the people inside their locker room, the people she sees every single day. "I feel like I'm just scratching the surface of what I can accomplish," she said. In the current unstable and polarized climate of the country and world, maybe the greatest luxury Clark has is this, the privilege of realizing her childhood dreams and continuing to pursue them. The biggest thing Clark said she's learned about herself throughout her journey thus far is that dreams can come true. While she admits that her dreams were not at the magnitude of success she's currently experiencing, Clark said, "I was always somebody who dreamed and wanted to achieve things." Her parents encouraged her to go after the things she wanted. whether it was to keep up against her older brother and his friends or to follow her goal of making it to the WNBA. They probably knew at times I would fail and they let me fail, but I think that taught me a lot of lessons about myself and life in general.